was. A phone left face up on the kitchen counter. A message appearing on the screen from a contact, saved simply as M. Sophie was not snooping. She was not suspicious. Soft denial. She was not the kind of wife who checked her husband's phone. She had never needed to be. She just happened to be standing there when the message arrived. It said, "The kids miss you. When are you coming home?" Soft. Sophie and Julien had been married for 13 years. They had 2 children of their own. She knew every detail of his life, his schedule, his friends, his habits, his fears. She had built a life with this man, brick by brick, year by year, with the certainty that she knew exactly who she was sleeping next to. That certainty collapsed in 3 seconds. Because somewhere else, in a house she had never seen, in a life she did not know existed, there were children waiting for their father to come home. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most psychologically complex forms of betrayal that exists: the double life. And we are going to answer the question that haunts every person who has ever been in Sophie's position. Pulling in, how does a person do this? How does someone who laughs, who loves, who holds your hand, soft human, live an entirely parallel life for over a decade without breaking? The answer will disturb you, and it will change the way you see people forever. Let me take you back 11 years. Sophie met Julien at university. He was steady, reliable, the kind of man who remembered small details and brought them back months later. She fell in love with his consistency. They built a life, marriage, children, Sunday mornings, arguments that ended in silence and coffee. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. Julien traveled often, 3, sometimes 4 times a month. Sophie understood. She trusted him completely, firm. And this is where the story becomes extraordinary, because Julien was not traveling for work, not entirely. For 11 years, he had another home, another woman, 2 children who also called him father, 2 families, 2 complete lives, and for 11 years, not a single mistake. Until a notification. Sophie did not confront him. She picked up the phone, read the message again, put it back exactly where it was. She walked to the bathroom, sat on the edge of the bathtub, and stayed there for 45 minutes. Not crying, not thinking clearly, just sitting, slow, inside the feeling of her entire world shifting beneath her. She later said, "It didn't feel like grief. It felt like vertigo, like discovering the ground beneath your life was never solid." For 3 days, she checked everything: phone records, bank statements, emails, and then photos. Another woman, 2 children, birthdays, holidays, a life just as real as hers. Final wait. On the 4th day, she sat across from him and said, "Tell me about Camille." She expected panic, guilt, shame, but what she saw was relief. Living a double life is not just lying. It is compartmentalization. The mind separating realities so completely that they do not touch. And over time, gradual, those compartments become real, fully emotional, fully lived. That is how a person can sit at dinner, laugh, hold your hand, and mean it. Because in that moment, the other life does not exist. But it comes at a cost: constant management, constant pressure, constant risk, and eventually exhaustion, which is why when the truth comes out, measured, the person is not always shattered. Sometimes They are relieved. Julien told her everything. No denial, no excuses, just truth. 4 lives destroyed in one moment. Before he left, Sophie asked one question, which one of us was real? He said, both of you were. And I know that's the worst answer. Understanding this does not reduce the pain, but it gives clarity, because these things do not happen overnight. There are always signs, subtle, quiet, easy to ignore, and ignoring them is often the real beginning of the collapse. So let me ask you something. Do you believe a person can truly love 2 families at the same time? Yes or no? And tell me why. Because your answer says everything about what you believe love really is.